project in the back of a tilt truck. This is a 1948 Morris 8, a Series E, whatever that meant. They made these from 38 until 48, with the war in between, so not a lot got done there. Charlie's checking it out. By the time 48 came along, these were getting kind of old-fashioned looking and were replaced by the Morris Minor that came out in 49. But pretty cool car, I think. It's got the old air conditioning with the wind-out windscreen, suicide doors. Got a nice interior, I think, leather, and it's got a banjo steering wheel. It's pretty simple, but I still think it's kind of elegant, really. Well, I don't have a whole lot of history on this car. It came to me from a friend who inherited it from his uncle. I know his uncle bought it in 1992 from a auction and looked after it very well. And I don't know that he drove it a lot, but he certainly did look after it. I guess he had it for 30 or more years or so. And there it is in a museum at one point. Anyway, the main thing is that we get it going and get it back on the road because, as you know, it doesn't do them any good to sit around. It's been sitting now for about 12 years, so it's going to need a lot of attention to get going again. Got probably look after the brakes are seized in the front and the radiator is dry. And the fuel will need to be drained, so I think I'll start with the fuel. Pretty easy to get at. One of those cylinder type fuel tanks, very old type fuel tank, just stuck in behind the bumper, and the fuel is sour, but there's no sign of any rust in it. And no gook or anything, so I think if you drain it all out, flush it a few times, flush the fuel lines back, I think I'll be able to work with that. Did get some nice manuals with this car. There's an operations manual that shows you all the bits that you have to service and what to grease and where to grease it. That's all good. People did that back in the 40s. You know, people had to monthly greasing. Got a spare parts manual that has some good diagrams in it, so very happy to have that. That's going to be very helpful. And let's just get at it. The oil looks good, but it's old, so I'll have to change it anyway. So we'll move on from there, see if we can get it running. Alright, I think I'm going to get started on this side here. I'll pull the plugs up, but I think I'll get the air filter off and get some WD-40 and what have you. So anyway, I'd like to get the fuel filter out and give it a little clean, but we'll see how that works. Meanwhile, we'll take a look at the distributor. Okie doke. Well, again, that looks like it's in pretty decent shape. It's just got a rotor and a condenser, and a couple points that really, gee, it really does look like it's just been turned off.
and not start it again. I mean, there is nothing that you would think would be keeping this thing from going anywhere. Alright, anyway, I can't see that, anything wrong there. I may just use the old crank on it and see what happens. All right, I'm just going to pull these plugs out. I've taken some painter's tape, marked the which wire goes where, because you know it seems really obvious at the time when you take the things off, but sometimes when you're putting it back on, it it just isn't that obvious, and it can be pretty frustrating when you get the firing order wrong. So I'm just going to take these plugs out and see what it looks like inside there. All the plugs look good so far. I'm just putting a little shot of just regular engine oil in there. Nothing fancy. Just want to make sure it's got plenty of lubrication. And all the plugs look, you know, basically new, really. So there's no carbon deposit. There's no burn or anything on them so far. So I'll just put a little bit of engine oil in there just to make sure that I'm not kind of cranking it over dry. Alright, well, I'm going to try to fix this cable, throttle cable. So the way this works is the cable goes through this here little piece here, and then it goes, this here clamps on the steering column and goes up through there. The cable goes through there, in through there, and as you can see, they soldered it. So that just makes it a little more fun. So I'll give it a go, see if I can fix it. It's funny though, I just put my foot on the old accelerator pedal and she snapped. I'm just hoping that stranger things have happened. Okay, so that was a lot of fun. Anyway, I got that back together again. So it seems like we're throttling. And I guess I'll give it another go to see if it fires up. Alright, let's see what happens. We've got some decent fuel in it. Throttle seems to work now. Might try turning the battery isolator on now. If this thing does fire up, it's going to make a lot of smoke because I put a bunch of oil down the cylinders. But I'm sort of kind of optimistically saying that. Helps if you turn the power on. All these details, everything's all about details, isn't it? These aren't the easiest things in the world to get into, I have to admit. Don't know about that. Well, I wouldn't say that's going. It did fire up, so that's a good thing. And I'll just check a few other things here and see where I go from there. I was going to take the carburetor apart anyway, so I didn't expect it was going to run brilliantly. But anyway, that's the start. Well, good day. Another day working, doing a little bit of work on the mowers. Actually, I'm going to go on a bit of a parts run. This is the first time I bought any parts. But I've removed the radiator hoses. Of course, they've, they're leaking a bit of water. Well, this one was. The top one wasn't, but it would soon. It's all deteriorated. So I'll see if I get a couple of those. And then I just need to get some grease and some. I got to do something with the battery. To charge it, or to get I need to get onto 6 volt for you. Yeah. Anyway, off to the parts store, get some hoses, get some, hopefully get a battery, and then start working on the carburetor later on today or tomorrow. I'll catch you later. Okay, so I had to replace this hose here that runs, where does it run? It runs from the radiator here to, you can see underneath there. So that seemed fine, the hose was all crappy, but what I found when I took it off is that nothing was coming through because this here is plugged with gunk. So I'm taking that off. See if I can clean it out and then I'll flush some water through it. So I got that piece off, and this is what it looks like. And it's not too good. Anyway, finding one of those would not be an easy thing. And to look at where the block is, it's pretty stuffed up too. Anyway, I'll flush some water through that and see what happens. Well, flushing out, so that's a good thing. Wow, there's a lot of gunk in there. So I wonder if it was leaking and somebody put that shit in there, you know, the gas you can't read. Anyway, That make it a little better. All right, so I got this off. That was the gasket that was in there, but this is full, and so is all the other. So is the block. But you know, this just isn't. I mean, that's just full. There'd be no water that would go through there. There would be no water that'd be going through the bottom outlet and into the engine block. Be nothing. You know, you'd be. So I don't know. Somebody put that leak stop stuff in there, maybe, or something. But yeah, oh man, that thing was completely clogged. So there you go. And that's not very good. Anyway, I'll try cleaning it up. At least you can see through it. At least the water can pass through it now. And when I rinsed out the engine block, it came out, you know, it came out okay. So hopefully we'll get the water flowing. But gee, yeah, I think it would have been overheating. Well, I've filled it up again with water and it's not leaking anywhere. But I was just running through a bit of it, just to running through the radiator, and then just running a little pressure into it to get it to flush out a bit of the crap in it. So it's that's about my third time through. So it's running out pretty clean now. I think I'll probably leave it at that. And the pressure gave me a little bit of chance to test some of the hoses and that. And the water certainly isn't, where am I here? Certainly isn't coming out clear yet, but it's getting better. So anyway, just try. Well, that's, I think that's where we'll leave it today for the old Moore's 8 work. It was mainly a dirty old job today. Replaced the those two radiator water hoses and gave it a bit of a flush. And I'd have to say, if it had have started and ran with those hoses being clogged, especially on the engine side down here, with that clogged, it would have just overheated in a matter of minutes, really. So just as well that that it was leaking, and was motivated to do to fix it, to change it. So I guess that's not a bad thing then, really. But it was a dirty old, messy old, not the best kind of job. But anyway, hopefully tomorrow morning I'll get back at it and things will be all dry, and I'll get to work on the carburetor, because that's really where I want to go next, is clean out the sediment bowl, give the carburetor a clean, and get that back together so that it's got some clean fuel, and then we'll give it another go, see if we can get it going.